Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. We're at Smoking Joe's gym at Fight Den in Birmingham, UK. You're watching True School Sports. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, hope you guys are having a great day as you're tuning in. Wherever you're watching this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so you can let YouTube know that you're rocking with your boy BT and True School Sports, and you like what I'm putting out there. Now, going to the heavyweight division, Dillian Whyte, article on boxing.com. I'll leave it in the description for you guys so you can read it for yourself, come to your own surmise. Dillian Whyte says that he expects that Deontay Wilder will avoid honoring his mandatory obligations by fighting him, and that he will request to become the franchise champion. Now, Wilder is on record. I believe he said that he's not going to go for that franchise champion nonsense. He won't do that. But Dillian Whyte believes the contrary. So, this franchise champion, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's incredibly confusing. Obviously, we know that Canelo has been designated a franchise champion. We know that Lomachenko has been designated a franchise champion. Now, the crazy thing with being a franchise champion is it gives the fighter leeway to do basically whatever the hell he wants. So when you're crowned the WBC franchise champion, you're not obligated to make mandatory defenses anymore. So you can go your own way. You can do whatever the hell you want. And what's even crazier is that let me see. Yeah, it's crazy. There's so many rules and technicalities with it. Like it's a lot to explain. I might need to just read it out more one day and just do a video kind of explaining what it is, because I'm still trying to fully understand it. But Deontay Wilder has a rematch coming up soon with Tyson Fury. They're saying in February. He has to win that, so that's not going to be a gimme. But if he does, there will be a February 2021 deadline to face Dillian Whyte. Now, the reason this is significant is because if Wilder goes and requests the franchise champion title, then should the WBC grant that to him, that would exempt him, and that would he doesn't have to fight Dillian Whyte, who's his mandatory, and then he can go continue to move and press on with his career. Now, it's been a known fact that a lot's been made of it on this channel and through many channels in boxing and from many boxing fans, that Dillian Whyte has been the #1 contender for the last 2 years. Okay, for the last 2 years. And what's even crazier is he was controversially, moved back in line when Dominic Brazil was ordered to fight Wilder, despite the fact that Dominic Brazil was #2, and he fought Eric Molina in a final eliminator on a Wilder undercard. And when Brazil won that fight, the WBC allowed him to get the fight before Dillian Whyte. So it's been a lot of just funny business and BS with the WBC. But here's what Dillian Whyte said in regards to the WBC and Deontay Wilder and the franchise champion. He said, I quote, "Now that I'm back, he will definitely move up to franchise world champion. I want to fight Deontay Wilder. I've wanted to fight him for a long time. I still want to fight him, but he doesn't want to fight me. It's clear he doesn't want to fight me. I just want to become world champion. Wilder will move to franchise champion, so I might become world champion soon anyway. I've spent hundreds and thousands of pounds on the WBC. I've been loyal to them by fighting back-to-back top 10 contenders. I fought more top contenders than their champion." Oh my God, Dillian Whyte dropping that ether, that stuff that makes your soul burn slow. Now listen, he's telling the truth. He is telling the truth, because let's have it right. If we take away, we give Wilder a bit of credit for fighting Tyson Fury, even though all of us know that he only fought Tyson Fury because he thought Tyson Fury was done. He thought he was, he had partied all of his talent away. But he's not lying. Dillian Whyte fought Joseph Parker. He fought Oscar Rivas. He's fought Anthony Joshua. He's fought Robert Helenius. He's fought a ton of guys. He's been very active against good competition. So will Deontay Wilder go for the franchise champion status? Now, listen, if he beats Tyson Fury, and that's a big if, then what's going to wind up happening is that there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to fight Anthony Joshua, and he might not want to go that route right away. PBC generally has their own plans. Al Heyman has his own direction he wants to take his fighters. So I don't think he would definitely not go straight into a Joshua fight after he beats Fury. So then that would leave Dillian Whyte, and Wilder has made every excuse in the book to not fight Dillian Whyte. And it's a damn shame because that fight to me is one of the most exciting fights in heavyweight boxing. You have two of the hardest punchers in the division. I would say the number one and number two hardest punchers in the division fighting each other. It doesn't get much better than that, to be honest with you, as far as styles and matchups go. So I don't see what the holdup is. It's a great fight for the fans. It's a great fight for Deontay Wilder in his career, because if he's able to beat Dillian Whyte, that gives him so much credibility, because Dillian Whyte has really come on strong these last couple of years and proven himself to be just a top contender of the highest order. So, what do I think he's going to do? Personally, I think he will. I think Deontay Wilder will ask for the franchise champion title from the WBC. Whether they grant it to him or not, we'll see. I think they will, because they seem to have a good relationship. Because the thing is this, PBC fighters, for the most part, they don't like to be told what to do, and they don't like to honor mandatories and things like that. So he's gonna want that. He's gonna want that wiggle room. He's gonna want that freedom to do what he wants with his career. And I think if he beats Tyson Fury, which again is a big if, but if he beats Tyson Fury, then I see him like fighting like an Adam Kaunaki, or maybe even a Charles Martin, or like someone like that. Like, I know that sounds crazy and far-fetched, especially the Charles Martin thing, but Charles Martin's on a bit of a winning streak. He's an American heavyweight. He's got a good personality, so I can see Al Haymon making that fight. You have Adam Kaunaki, who's undefeated, and he's a top 10 guy. You have Andy Ruiz, who will be there again. So I think he'll fight any one of those three guys should he be victorious against Tyson Fury, which will further delay the Dillian Whyte fight. And he might not even ask for the franchise championship status right away. He might wait till beat Tyson Fury, then beat one of those guys, and then maybe he asks for it at the last minute. And if they grant it to him, the WBC, then it further confirms what many of us already know, which is the fact that the WBC, Mauricio Sulaiman, and all parties involved there are in bed with him. Like they're like this. They're attached at the hip. So it's a damn shame what they're doing to Dillian Whyte. And it is what it is, man. Like Deontay Wilder's a hell of a fighter, but he's not unbeatable. He's not unbeatable. Like, and the thing is, if there was a guy, if you said, Brendan, if there was a guy in the heavyweight division that was gonna knock this guy out cold and stop him, it would be Dillian Whyte. It would be Dillian Whyte, because that left hook, man. I'm sorry. That left hook is it's to me, it's arguably the hardest punch in the division. I think there's a legitimate argument to be made that his left hook is every bit as concussive, every bit as destructive, and every bit as productive as Deontay Wilder's right hand. Now I know Deontay Wilder has been crowned by many people, myself included, as the hardest puncher in boxing history, and rightfully so. He has stopped everybody. The majority of people that they put in the ring with him, everybody he's fought, he's dropped them. So, you can't argue with the results. But when you look at how Dillian Whyte's developed, when you look at what the left hook has done to people like Joseph Parker and Lucas Brown and Derek Chisora, when you look at these things, you can't ignore them. And when we look at Deontay Wilder, he's there to be hit. He's there to be hurt. And if Dillian Whyte was to catch him with the left hook, could Wilder survive? That's the intrigue of the fight. The intrigue of the fight is that, because it is heavyweight boxing and there's always that one punch factor, but the intrigue of the fight between Wilder and Whyte is that, yeah, okay, Dillian Whyte or Deontay Wilder is a hard puncher, but he's never fought a puncher quite like Dillian Whyte. Truthfully speaking, Deontay Wilder hasn't fought many punchers, period. If for being honest, and this is not me hating, who is the biggest puncher this guy has fought? Well, okay, you gotta say probably Luis Ortiz and Dominic Breazeale. I mean, come on, man. These guys shouldn't be the hardest punchers you've ever fought, straight up. Because Dominic Breazeale has some of the slowest reflexes in the division, and Luis Ortiz has above average punching power at best. His punching power is very overrated. So, he's never fought somebody with a punching power like Dillian Whyte, who at the same time his skills are improving. So, yeah, you're damn right he's going to request the franchise champion title. But I don't think it'll be right away. It'll be after the Fury fight. So after the Fury fight, if he's victorious, I would expect him to request it, because it makes too much sense not to, from his side of things. if you're not really in a rush to fight this guy, why would you allow yourself to be in a situation where you're gonna have to fight him? You know, when you can ask for exemption, get the exemption, and do whatever the hell you want with your career. I don't condone it, but I'm just saying you gotta look at it from the Wilder perspective. He's not in a rush to fight this guy. I would even venture to say, like, he's afraid of the guy. I think he's afraid of Dillian Whyte, because why would you duck a guy who's been your mandatory for 2 years? Clearly, you're ducking a guy that's been your mandatory for 2 years. You're constantly talking about how kings don't chase peasants. You're constantly talking. You told the guy himself you were gonna make him wait 2 years, which I think is the most corniest thing in boxing. And it's like these things I'm talking about with Wilder in regards to Whyte. These are the exact reasons why people like myself who want to get behind Wilder as our American champion. That's why I have a hard time. People like me have a hard time fully getting behind him, because it's like, okay, you can fight your ass off. You're a fun fighter to watch. You are must-see TV. You are one of the best punchers in boxing history, if not the hardest puncher and best puncher in boxing history. But you pull things like this. The sanctioning body panders to your needs, and it's just not cool. It really isn't cool. And at the end of the day, all I want to see in boxing is the best fight the best, and it's Wilder who's holding it up. No two ways about it. Even when Dillian Whyte offered this guy, Eddie Hearn came to him with a fair offer, offered him double what his career high payday was in 2018 to fight him, he balked at it. He said no. You know, he did the same thing with Joshua. He's done the same thing with Whyte. So make the fight happen. Hopefully I'm wrong. I would love to come back to this video in 2 or 3 months and say, you know what, that was funny when I made that video, because Deontay Wilder didn't request franchise championship exemption. But you know, I can't see a way that he's not gonna go ahead and do that. So those are my thoughts on the whole situation. Dillian Whyte says he'll become the franchise champion. I believe that Deontay Wilder will request to become the franchise champion, which will then prevent him from having to obligate any sort of mandatories. So Dillian Whyte might get a title belt just by default, and we'll have another instance, just like Devin Haney, where a guy who didn't necessarily earn his belt by winning it in the ring just gets awarded it by default because one guy doesn't want to fulfill his mandatory. So this franchise champion BS, it's really just diluting what it means to be world champion in boxing, and it's sickening. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think Deontay Wilder will do? Do you agree with Dillian Whyte? Will he become the franchise champion? Will he ask for the exemption? And if he does, what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
My name is Rachel McDonough, and this is my friend. Hi, I'm Savannah, and we're here at the beautiful Madison Square Garden for the big fight, and you are watching True School Sports.